This front fender panel needs to be replaced, and you can see how beat up it is. It had some body work. It's been painted and pretty bent out of shape, so we decided to replace it. We found a part, and unfortunately the guy that listed the part put 2003 to 2008 Honda Accord. We took it for what it was worth, traveled 2.5 hours only to find out that the car was a 2008 Honda Accord Coupe, not a sedan. Some things will fit and some things will not fit, and I believe the front fenders are good, but if you were to get doors or anything, it wouldn't work because the Coupe actually has longer front doors since it doesn't have back doors. The mirrors aren't the same either. That was another issue we found, is that the mirrors are not interchangeable. So I am removing this fender, and I'm going to put that fender on, and hopefully there aren't any issues. For reference, there is one 10mm bolt down here, and this will need to be moved out of the way in order to access it. Then you've got another one up here, and then the rest of them are along here. So you got one there, two here. Got the fender off, pretty easy to get off. And then now I'm getting ready to put it back on. You know, one of the things that if you haven't done it, but you work on cars, one of the best things you can do is buy one of these little nylon retainer kits. They're anywhere from like $7 to $15. And this has got all types in here. And sometimes when you buy them, they'll say that they're specifically for certain cars. But I don't know that that's even true to those specific cars, because I've had some cars that these things really won't work on at all because they're just too skinny or too fat or not long enough or whatever. But these kits do come in handy, and it is come in handy on this Honda and the Volkswagen that I worked on recently. Something might look out of place if you're into Hondas. And this is, the vehicle itself is 2007 Honda Accord V6, and the car was hit on the front end, ripped the front bumper off, ran down the side of the car, took the back bumper off, and then caused some other damage, blew out the front tire, driver's side front tire. So the person who wants me to fix the car went from Asheville, North Carolina to Rockford, Tennessee. It's just south of Knoxville. Drove 2.5 hours and picked up a front bumper and a back bumper. Brought them back. They've been sitting over there. But then there were some pieces missing that we needed. So him and I went back again, and the guy gave us some additional pieces, including a jack. And this is the splash guard. But there's two different ones. He said there's only one, but you can tell two of the pieces are very similar. So that would be for two different cars. He gave a right side passenger front fender, and if you look at them, they look almost exactly alike. But unfortunately, while this is the original one that I put back on, it's got damage, and the guy sold us the fender off the other car for 20 bucks. You can see, pretty beat up. The only problem with the fender that we got from him is that there's a bigger curve in the fender. This front bumper is from the Coupe, and almost everything lines up, except once you start snapping everything in. So you can see when you once you get all the bolts removed, there's a little tab that the bumper sits in on both sides in the front, up underneath the fender point here. So it almost lines up there, but this will not go back any further, and you can see this has to go and line up with there, and that needs to line up with there. One of the things you can see is, this little slit right here is where the bumper stops, and then you bolt it down. Over here You can see the little slit is set back almost all the way to here. So see it there, and then you can see it's all the way forward to here. This bumper does not take that into account. So that's one issue with the Coupe bumper. And well, the bigger problem is that this would have to be bigger in order to match up with that little slit there. And this piece will not go in any further to lock on right there like it should. This one gets pretty close to hitting there, but still doesn't match here. And then here's the other issue. Like I said, this bumper is from the 2008 Honda Accord V6 Coupe, and then this is the grille. But this grille is to a 2007 Honda Accord V6 Sedan. And you can see it does not go on at all. It doesn't fit on there, doesn't slide on there, nothing lines up on it. But this is the original grille for this car. And the other thing is, so let's see if I can do this. This chrome piece that goes around the Honda emblem here that's missing, this piece would be the only piece that would go on here. But this piece by itself, even if I took it off, would not fit on there properly, so I can't do that. There's the reasons why you can't put a bumper from a coupe on a sedan. Well, I guess you actually could put it on if you are okay with it not fitting properly. And then the other thing is, I thought maybe you'd get lucky and the bumper, the rear bumper, is the same. Oh, and I forgot to point out, so this styrofoam piece on the back and the front, they call it an energy absorber. I guess that makes it worth the $40 and $60 that they're worth when they're brand new. But if I put that on the front bumper, that front bumper would not go on at all. So that's just another sign that the bumper does not go on in a sedan. And then the rear bumper, it might look like it fits, but it actually doesn't. So there's 3 locking tabs here, 3 locking tabs here. There's actually a bar right here underneath, which I believe is to line the bumper up when you put it on. And this bumper here from a coupe does not take into account that. And I'm gonna go ahead and assume that even with that energy absorber piece on there, that it's going to prevent the bumper from going on properly. And you can almost tell right away it's probably not going to go on, because look how far that comes out and look how far that comes out. So don't think it's going to work. And then here's the biggest thing that tells you that it's not going to go on properly. If you look at the length of this piece right here, and then look at the length from there to there, that tells you this bumper is not even going to reach. And I've already tried putting it on, it's not going to go on. And the other thing is, this angle right here is different than this angle right here. So another reason why you can't put a coupe bumper on a sedan. So now we're going to have to figure out where to find 2 bumpers. Most cars that we find, the first thing people take when they're scrapping their cars out is people take the bumpers.